I'm AJ Bayman, and these are Church Kid Stories. So, my brothers and I were church kids to like the 8th degree. My father pastors our church. My grandfather pastored the church that we came to before my dad started our church, and so we were, we started out. My dad and my mom, they got a building, and for a while it was just like we were the church members, just us, them, and in a couple of other families. And so as the church started to grow, we would do things together because everybody knew one another. It was really it was a tight group, and so once we started to begin to get more people, we just did different things, like cookouts and like dinners, just things to for everybody to be able to do something outside of church. And so there was a point at which there were a good amount of people going to the church at the time. Maybe we were up to about around between like 35 and 50 people, including us. And so I hope y'all didn't see that spit just fly from my mouth. But so about between 35 and 50 people. And so my dad, because he's like a grill master, dope on a grill. There's nothing that he's ever made that that's been bad. I don't even got to knock on wood because he's just dope like that. But so he cooks out. He wanted to have a cookout at the house for everybody at the church. Problem was, everybody that went there didn't have transportation, and we didn't have a church van at the time. And so what he ended up doing was transporting people from church after service, to our house, until everybody was there and we were all able to be there and have a good time. And so he's making several trips. Well, because of that, a lot, like my brothers and I, like we stayed, we were able to stay behind at the church, because we didn't need to go home right away. And so we're playing with our friends, and we're everybody's playing tag, and we're doing we're just running in and out of the church. We're running around the church on the outside. It was crazy. We're playing in the parking lot. And so I sat down because I was tired and I didn't feel like playing anymore. And so I was I'm chilling. I'm just we're down. It's like it's the last group of people, and it was just happened that we were all just the kids. And so we're waiting for my dad to get back, and so the kids, like they were playing tag. I'm sitting out, and I see like everybody running, like they ran outside, everybody ran, and then everybody ran inside the church. I'm sitting on the stoop outside of the church. Everybody ran inside the church, and then they locked the door. And my brother was it. My brother Chris, he was it. And he was so mad because they locked him out. They locked him out of the church. And so I'm sitting down next to the door. He's at the door, like trying to get in, like, let me in. And so he was so angry that he kicked the bottom of the door. And so it was the type of door it was actually all glass, but the outside was like metal. So it had like this metal rectangle. The glass was like installed in the middle, and it had like those old store handles where you just open it up. And so he kicked the bottom of the metal part of the door because he was upset. But he kicked it with such force that all of the glass just shattered it just completely shattered. It didn't break right away. It was just like it was still up, but like you could see the million pieces it was getting ready to be broken into. He immediately started crying. And so I'm like, oh my God, like dad is gonna trip when he sees this. And so, I mean, my dad, he pulls up and he gets out of the car and he makes that face that he makes when somebody is gonna get a whooping. So my dad, when he's pissed, even to this day, when he gets upset, he does this thing with his lips, like he bites both of his lips, you almost think he's gonna bite them off, because he bites his lip, and then if you make eye contact, he's gonna burn a hole through your face. So he's doing that, like what happened. They told him what happened, and obviously my brother was in trouble. So needless to say, our entire ride home was completely silent. And we got home. Chris is in trouble. We know that he's in trouble. But the thing is, this is like the worst time for him to be in the type of trouble that he's in, because our entire church is at our house, of which there were lots of kids. And so all the kids were pretty much in the basement, and like we had a TV with cable down there. Like we used to rollerblade in our basement. We played hockey, like tag, obviously, like just we set up some stuff to play basketball, all kinds of crazy crap. Everybody's downstairs. So we go to the basement. Chris goes with my dad into my dad's room. Now, we told everybody what happened at the church. The bad thing for Chris was, because our house was fairly new at the time. I think our parents we had a house fire, and we built that house in 91. And Dad started the church in 94. This might have been like around 97. I want to say 97. And so the house was still fairly new. You could hear everything through the vents. Like everything. Somebody having a conversation. Listen, nobody can do a close-up, but you could hear everything. So everybody's, we done told all the rest of the kids what happened at the church. They was like, oh snap, and then, they quickly got over it. We're downstairs, we're playing like Nintendo 64, like everybody's just down there having a good time, we're laughing. Then all of a sudden, like you hear like some whimpering, and then you hear somebody crying, and then everybody stopped what they were doing, because we could hear Chris getting his butt whooped. Now, usually, it's hilarious to hear, like when you're not the one getting beat, to hear somebody getting the beating. It's like, I don't know why. It's just hilarious. So, now we didn't do it because, like nobody else wanted to get in trouble by association, because somebody gets beaten, and then like you copy them, and your parents hear that, they like, oh, you want some too? No, I don't want that smoke. So but this time it was like all the kids from our church, our basement was completely silent, and everybody heard him getting his butt whooped. So we're rolling. People was just, ha 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 ha, rolling on the ground. Niggas is doing high fives. Like, yo, did you hear that? And so, then, it stops. Again, everybody would go back to playing video games. We're just doing whatever, talking. And so Chris comes into the basement and he comes halfway down the stairs and then sits on the steps. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's looking at everybody, and then like it once again gets quiet. He's looking around, everybody's looking at him. I don't know who the first to laugh was, but everybody started laughing. And Chris was so mad. It was like, he didn't get many beatings because he was like the youngest, and so I don't want to say that he got away with mad stuff. Maybe he just didn't do as much. He definitely didn't get as many beatings as I did, but he didn't do as much as I did. So it kind of panned out, but I think that he didn't get as many as he probably deserved. Anyway, that's a different debate for another day. But oh man, I mean, like, this was like one of the epic ones where it's like, you learned your lesson to the point where you're not going to do anything else because you remember how terrible this was. Not only to have done something to get a beating while company is over, but to have all of your friends present and able to hear that you're getting a beating and then have to be with them to play for the rest of the afternoon, because our parents didn't play that. Like, you're not just getting ready to get beaten and have no attitude. That's not, because they gonna beat the attitude out you. So you had to get beat and then get on the good foot. So it was one of those situations. He probably wants to tell this story from his point of view, and I didn't give him the opportunity. I'm sorry, Chris, but this is what happens. Church kid stories.